Hey folks, welcome back to another review with yours truly. Today I'm going to talk to you about a game called Fairy Tale. Now this is the old version, and I've talked a lot about the old version in its heyday. You know I like it already, but today I'm going to be giving the new copy its due credit. Since Fairy Tale is a card game, there is really no setup at all. You simply take the deck of cards, shuffle them, and then deal out 5 to every player. Okay, so after you've dealt out 5 to every player, and they will choose one card to keep. This is a drafting mechanic. So I'm looking at my cards here. I'm going to choose one of them to keep in my hand. That has a lot of points on it, so I'm going to keep that one, and I'm going to pass the other 4 to the player on my left. So the player on my right will have handed me 4 cards, and I take those 4 cards and choose which one I want to keep. Maybe not. Let's go for one of the dragons here. So I keep that, and then I take these cards and pass them. Then person on my right is going to pass me some cards. And I'll have 3 cards left. You can unflip any 2 cards. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think I'll take that one. And these cards go over here. Person passes me 2 cards over there. I already have one of those, so I'm going to take another one. This guy goes over here, and then the person on my right here passes me the final card. So now I have 5 cards once again. After having drafted, everybody will have 5 cards back in their hand again. And so then we will take our cards up into our hand, and we will only play 3 of these. So I look at my hand, and I'm going to choose to play the Children of the Dragon first. Everybody else will choose their card. We all flip simultaneously. Now, cards have effects on them, and I'll get to that in just a moment. I'm just talking about gameplay right now. But after that is done, we do any effects that cards might have, and then we choose our next card. And we always do that face down. So I'll play that face down. Everybody else will choose to play a card face down. And once we've already all chosen, we all flip at the same time. Okay? Now we all choose to do another card. This will be our last card for this turn. And so I'm going to choose this one. We all choose. We all flip at the same time. And so now that I've played my 3 cards, everybody else has played their 3 cards for this turn. The 2 cards that we did not play, they go face down into a discard pile off the face. They're not going to be used again. And then once 5 more cards are dealt out to everyone, the drafting process takes place again. And once that drafting process has taken place again, then we play 3 more cards face down. Of course, you are building your tableau, trying to get the most points. After you have drafted cards 4 times, in other words, you've gone through 4 rounds of drafting cards and playing 3 of those 5 down, you go to the scoring phase. And once the scoring phase happens is when the actual cards will interact with each other, and you will actually be generating points at that time. Now, as I said, the whole point of building your tableau is to generate points at the end of the game. And the way cards generate points differs from card type to card type. For example, you have these home cards, or the castle cards, that generate points just straight up. And other cards also generate points straight up, but they also fellowship with other cards to generate even more points. For example, if for every combination, I guess you could say, of Elven Warriors and Bards that you have on the table, first of all, the Elven Warrior is going to give you 3 points straight up. But the Bard plays or fellowships off of the Elven Warriors. So this Bard is worth a number of points equal to the number of Elven Warriors on the table in your tableau, not in anybody else's, only yours. And then, for example, if I have only 1 Elven Warrior, this card is worth 1 times 3. So this card is also worth 3. But if I had another Elven Warrior, though, this card would be worth 2 because it is worth asterisk your number of Elven Warriors on the table, so it would be worth 2 times 3. So this card, the Bard, would be worth 6 points at the end of the game, not just 1 times 3 or 0 times 3. So these two cards play with each other. These two cards also do the same thing, the Skydance Dragon and the Elven Warrior. And in much the same fashion, the Knights of the Round Table work with the Bronze Dragons. For every copy of the Knight of the Round Table that you have on the table, your tableau, it is worth that number times 3, each Bronze Dragon. Now, let's say that I had additional, for example, let's go back down here with the Skydance Dragons and the Dwarves. Let's say I had 2 Dwarven Warriors, and I had 2 Skydance Dragons. Both of these would be worth 2 times 3. So this one would be worth 6 points, and this one would be worth 6 points. So that would be a total of 12, 15, 18 points just from those 4 cards. But you also have another kind of effect here, and these are the asterisk cards, I call them. And basically what this means is that the asterisk equals your copies of that card that you have on your tableau. So if for example, the Children of the Dragon here, if I had 2 copies of the Children of the Dragon, they both would be worth 2 points each. So 2 points and 2 points, that would be 4. If I had 3 copies of the Children of the Dragon, it would be worth 3, 6, 9 points. Okay, because there are 3 copies, so this card is worth 3 points, this card is worth 3 points, and this card is worth 3 points. The Homesteaders and the Mischievous Fairies work the same way for those 2 factions. So again, what we're trying to do is generate points in your tableau. Some of the cards that we play, however, can generate negative points. Usually when that happens, though, the negative points is because you have a very powerful ability that card will give you. So the Dark Angel here will give you -1 point at the end of the game, but it's allowing you to unflip any 2 cards. When you have a card that is flipped over, like so, it is not generating you any points whatsoever. So having a card like this that allows you to unflip those cards, I just got 6 points back into my tableau just from this one card, and it lets you unflip any 2. So let's say that both of these were flipped, and I play this card, I immediately, as long as it's not hunted, we'll get to that in just a moment, I immediately can flip over 2 cards. And in this case, that's 12 points that this card gave me. So yeah, I'm taking a -1, but it got me an 11-point swing. So powerful card, negative points, it balances out. Okay, up until now, I've only been showing you base game cards. There is an expert, what they call expert level game, denoted by the E in all of these cards that I'm showing you now. There's a very small E in the bottom right-hand corner of each card here that shows that these cards are used for expert level play. Now, what that really means is that it simply adds another level of complexity on it. Up until now, all of the cards have been pretty much straightforward scoring. But now we're entering into a realm called conditional points. And what that means is that you'll see that each card here has a star behind the number of points that card wants to award you. Now, what that means is, if you look at the bottom of the card here, it says score 6 points, for example, the Dragon's Tale Chapter 1, score 6 points if you have the most Dragonvale cards. Dragonvale are the green cards, the green dragon faction. So if you're the player who has the most Dragonvale cards on the table, this card is going to score you 6 points. Here, with the Dragon's Tale Chapter 2, you'll score 7 points if you have a Silver Dragon and a Dragon's Lair in your tableau. The Dragon's Tale Chapter 3 scores you 8 points if you have at least 2 Fairy cards and 2 Holy Empire cards, or more. But you have to have at least 2 in order to score the 8 points. So they're a little bit more difficult to get out on the table. You have to be a little bit more cunning in the drafting mechanic phase of each round to make sure that you procure the cards that you need to finish these conditional circumstances. So those are the conditional scoring cards. Now let's move on to 10 new cards that were given in the new version of Fairy Tale that were not in the original. First of all, they give you an extra copy of the Trickster. There was only one copy in the original game. In this revision, they give 2 copies of the Trickster, which is that card that allows you to mimic any other card in the game for end scoring. They also give you a Chapter 5 for the Shadow King's Tale. This is the only Chapter 5 that's in the game right now. I don't know why they didn't give a Chapter 5 for each of the other factions. The Storyteller lets you get a number of points equal to how many story cards you have on the table times 2. So if you have 4 story cards in your tableau, the Storyteller will be worth 8 points. The Gatekeeper does basically the same thing for home cards or castle cards. So those are 4 new cards. Then you have these 3 copies of each that are on the board that are now available. And these are all expert level cards as well. You probably shouldn't use them on your first playthrough, but after that, have at it. The Eggs of Chaos. Basically what this does is it counts as any one of these 3 and all of these 3. So, for example, let's say you had 2 Children of the Dragons and this card, it would now count as being 3 Children of the Dragon. But let's say you also had 3 Mischievous Fairies. It would count as an extra Children of the Dragon and an extra Mischievous Fairy. And same thing for the Homesteader. So these are very powerful cards. Now, also, this card introduces a new thing into the universe of Fairy Tale, and that is drawing cards during the actual playing phase of each round. So when you play this, when you flip it over, it's going to give you 4 points at the end of the game, but you get to draw 2 cards. Now, it doesn't up the number of cards that you're able to play on that round. It just ups the card possibilities that you have in your hand. Some cards allow you to hunt other cards that people are flipping over at a certain time during the play phase of the round. So if it says hunt all shadow cards, what happens is that when this card is flipped over, let's say that these 2 cards are played in the same round, and then when they are flipped over at the same time, hunt cards happen first. So this card, the Gold Dragon, would hunt that card, meaning that it is taken away and not actually played. They have to be flipped over at the same time. So that's how hunt cards work. And they are activated first after cards have been flipped over. So we hunt, unflip, flip, and then draw. Notice also that these treasury cards that allow you to draw 2 cards are also these shadow cards. So if this card is played, this could be hunted before you're able to do that effect. Okay, as far as end scoring is concerned, this is pretty quick, but I just wanted to give an example of end scoring so that you understood how points are actually scored at the end of the game. Basically, what you're going to have is, first of all, any straight up points are exactly what you're going to score for that round. So my castle here got me 6 points, and these 2 Elven Warriors got me 6 points as well. This guy got me 5 points, so that's 6, 12, and 17, and then minus 1 is 16. So I have 16 points. Then I have to go into the special circumstance scoring. So 16 plus each of these are worth 3 points because I got 3 copies of it. So each one is worth 3 points. So 16, 19, 22, and 25. And then down here, this card is worth however many copies of these I have times 3. So I have 2 times 3. That's another 6 points. So that's 6 plus the 25. So that's 31. And then I have another 9 points over here because each one is worth 3. Okay, so now we have 31 plus these 9 points here, which is 9, so that's up to 40. So this, if this was my tableau, having played 12 cards over the space of 4 rounds, I would have scored 40 points. This is a better version than the original. So if you have the original, there is much of the same, but those extra 10 cards that I showed you earlier, they really do change up the game enough to warrant the new purchase. On top of that, this is like a $15 purchase, so it's not like we're asking you to sell your spleen or anything like that. I don't think I will ever turn down a game of this unless I am really jonesing to play something else. But if we're just looking for a filler to play, this is top of the list for me. That's Fairy Tale by Satoshi Nakamura. Go check it out. See you on the flip side, folks.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.